Hi guys, welcome to the AussieDevs podcast, episode 12, where we discuss the Australian game development scene. I'm Eric and I've got my co-host with me, Glenn Turner, and on today's episode, we are interviewing Mitch Perry, developer of the mobile game Beneath the Basement. And without further ado, here's the interview.
So, Mitch, mate, Beneath the Basement is your first game you've done?
No, it's actually my third one. I've made basically, what's it called? I've made first little one called Cloudy Jump. It was, I can't remember when I released that, to be honest. It was a couple of years back. That was when I was like just getting into it and just sort of getting my feelers like in Unity and stuff, and just actually like learning a bit of basic coding. And that was basically, it was a, what's it called? You had you see this little cloud, and basically you started on the ground and the screen would slowly move up. And basically you had to sort of outrun the screen. So you jump on there's different clouds and you'd move up. I only did like 3 levels. It was really, really basic, and I created it for iOS, and it was dodgy as hell. It was so dodgy. And you'd get to the top of the first level, and you'd land on the rainbow, and then that would take you to level 2. And level 2 was like longer, and the camera would move faster. And so on. So, and that was it. And my second one was a game called Lightspeed. It was like you're the spaceship, and you just sped up over time, basically. And it was like a side-scrolling one, this one. And you just had to like dodge asteroids. You couldn't shoot them or anything, and you just crash into them eventually, and it recorded like your score of how far you went. So that was that. Yeah, and now I'm on this one, Beneath the Basement. This has been the biggest project yet.
That's really cool. I like how you're starting off with something comfortable, and then you're just progressively getting harder and harder.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's it's been tough though, eh? It is hard at times. So, it's cool.
You teach yourself how to code?
A little bit, yeah. So definitely in Cloudy Jump, that was all coding. I ended up, what's it called? I bought like like digital tutors. I bought like a 6-month subscription to them like a couple of years. Yeah, and I went through and because I was like, I want to learn how to like do a bit of game dev stuff. And I just went through their Unity stuff, learned the program, and then they had a bit of basic coding in JavaScript and C# in there as well.
Yeah.
So I went in and I learned a bit about that, and I basically made Cloudy Jump out of that. And then same as Lightspeed, I got to reuse a lot of like my code as well from Cloudy Jump into the second game and just alter it and make it a bit better. And then, this one's been a bit different though, this game. So that's why I feel like this game is a lot better than my last 2. So yeah, it's cool.
That's the beauty of the code. It's just like reusing stuff that works.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, like there's no point like recreating the wheel, right? So it's, that's cool.
That's good. Like, I suppose it's you don't, when you see sort of games that sort of make it big or whatever, or make a bit of money or whatever you want to classify success is, you don't actually see what happens before. You don't see the 20 games that, they learned how to do all these different mechanics and learned how to progress and actually learnt to code and you don't see into that. You just see this sort of finished product, and it's there's a whole lot that goes into beforehand, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Those people that don't do research and stuff like that, they just see the success straight away, and then they think they could jump in on the same bandwagon and get instant success. It's just so funny. It's just like, gotta wake up. Like Rovio, I think it was like Angry Birds had 40 games before that failed, and even the Collar Switch, David, 40 games before that as well. So it takes a lot of trial and error to get the formula right. And
yeah, absolutely.
So when did you're releasing Beneath the Basement tomorrow, which is Thursday the 27th?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it's it's going to come out. I think I've got the iOS thing because they can release that automatically through Apple. So I've set that as just midnight tonight. I think it's comes out just a bit after midnight by the time they process it. And then Android, I'm just going to make Android's one go live probably about 10:30, 11 tonight, I think, just so I can wake up in the morning and it's done, not have to worry about it.
How long have you been working on Beneath the Basement for?
I started prototyping it back in March 2015. So just basically after I finished making Lightspeed and Cloudy Jump, I was like I love platformer games. So I was like, man, I'd love to be able to make something like that. So I was like, I just started playing around with like a little box as the main character and like moving him left and right, and then thought, I'll create a platform here. You can jump over this. I got like a swinging sort of axe in there, and then I got like a moving sort of saw, and I was like, and I just started building it from that. And then I was like, maybe I can actually do this, because I set out and made like a big test level, And I was like, I'll put all these things in this big test level, and if I can do that, then I reckon I could probably build a whole bunch of levels after that. Just recycling the assets and whatnot. And yeah, it just went from there. But I haven't worked on it solidly since 2015. Like there'd be like at times like 6 months break, like I wouldn't touch it. Like when me and my girlfriend Charlotte like built our house, like I didn't touch the game for like 6 months, like when we moved in, because we were just too busy doing stuff. So
Yeah, life gets in the way.
absolutely, yeah. So and then other times I think I would not get sick of it, but you just go, oh, it just feels like a drag sometimes and an effort. And then I'd go and just leave it for a while, then pick it up and be like, yeah, you come back like really inspired and really like motivated, and it's good.
You've got to enjoy it, right? That's the whole point. You do it.
Absolutely, yeah. Big time.
Yeah, if you didn't enjoy it, then there's no chance you'd be making anything.
Yeah, that's right.
It's really good that you've got the willpower to get back to it and actually finish the product, though. That's one of the hardest hurdles that a lot of devs face.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, and this is another big thing as well with me. Like, I've had to like just like axe a lot of things that I had planned for the game, like because it was going to be too big and way too much for just me to do. But also like it's just finishing a product, even though it's not perfect. It's just like just get it out there. It's done. Like I can do updates and little fixes and whatnot in the future, but it's just actually saying, right, this is done. I want to just have a break and then move on to something else. You know what I mean? And that's it.
Minimum viable product.
Hey. We should just put that down as the motto of AussieDevs, man.
Yeah, we mentioned that like at least one
Every
every other episode.
Oh yeah.
It's releasing, like you just said, like for you to be completely happy with it. I don't think you'd ever get there as a developer. I don't think.
No way.
So to get to the stage where you go, you know what, I'm happy to release this. It's not what I would call perfect, but the bugs that you think, or the little niggly things that you think people will notice, they probably won't.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and it's playable. Like it works and stuff, and it runs nice, and I'm happy with it how it's gone. But yeah, there was loads of other things. I was like, man, I should do this, and then I started like planning how I was going to do it. And I'm like, wow, this is going to be out of control. And how the hell am I going to do this? You know what I mean? Because it's hectic, but nah, it's all good. It's good fun.
Because I mean, you have a day job, right, Mitch?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm what's it called? I'm a network I like IT technician at a high school.
Yep.
So that's like full-time work. So you get home from doing that sometimes, or get home from doing your day job, and you're like, oh, all right, let's do some game dev work. And sometimes I just fire up like Unity and Photoshop, and then I just go, yeah, nah, and I just walk away. You know what I mean? Like, and then other times like I get home and I'm like smashing it out. You know what I mean? Like you're so into it, but yeah, it's just. Some days you're on and some days you're not.
That's right. And you've got a lot of other things to spend your time with. I know your missus might take up a bit of that time as well.
Yeah. No, she's awesome. Like she totally understands like I guess my OCD for doing stuff. I mean, I've always done, before I was doing this, I was doing like 3D art as well. So like she like I've always just been into this art stuff, and yeah, she's awesome. She totally understands. She's the best.
What about Mia?
Mia.
I was Twitter stalking you before.
Oh yeah,
it's your dog, right? Is it Mia? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, chocolate lab. Yeah.
Oh mate, I got a black lab at the moment.
They're the best.
He's a year this month.
Oh, serious? Cool.
Yeah,
boy
exactly.
Boy or girl?
Boy, Ted.
Oh yeah, wicked.
You guys should have like doggy dates, man.
Yeah. They're just so. Oh man, honestly, Mia's like 6 years old right now, and she still acts like she's a pup. Like, they're just crazy, man, all the time. But so fun, yeah.
I was scrolling through your Twitter and to look at what you were doing and get a bit of a background on you, and I was like, oh look, a Labrador.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I put the photo on Twitter, but I might have put it on my Instagram account. I was working on the game one night, and she just comes up to the chair and she just like rests her head on my leg. I'm like, all right then. So then she climbs up and across me and is laying across me. I'm like hunched over her, like trying to work on the game. Like this big Labrador's like a lap dog,
This is there for support, really. It's like motivation. She's just trying to give you a bit of her energy, I guess.
Yeah, that's it, man.
They do get jealous.
Oh yeah.
If you're not giving them a cuddle.
That's it.
With this game, have you done everything by yourself as well? This is all solo work?
So all the artwork's definitely me. I've with Unity, I bought a little plugin called Platformer Pro, and that has a lot of like assets and stuff that like guest coding side that's already created. I mean, it's made by this I think his name's John Avery. He's an Australian guy, and there's like a big forum board for it and stuff. So I'm a part of that, and we all just jump on there and we help each other, and he helps you as well if you're having major problems with anything. But that's been a huge help, because I think back in 2015 when I first started it, I was using like his free, I think it was free at the time or whatever, it's like some 2D platformer controller that he had out. And then he ended up releasing this Platformer Pro kit like a year or two later. And I was like, wow, that's like amazing. So I ended up getting that. And then basically, yeah, I've just been using that as well. So yeah, I mean, I haven't done all the coding for it. A lot of the stuff that he had done is like awesome, but you still got to go in and build it. You know, you can't just drag and drop done. You know what I mean? Like you still got to go through and build. Yeah, that's right. So it's still like a lot of work, and then like fine tuning everything. It's crazy. It's really good though.
Yeah, that Unity store, I have been looking at because we were thinking of making a platformer ourselves, and the Unity store is amazing. It's just got all these assets. But I'll definitely check that package out, because it just sounds like it's perfect for us as well.
Yeah, honestly, check it out. He's got 3D stuff in it as well, I think, as 2D. So yeah, it sort of acts as everything. And I think he might be releasing newer stuff this year, like add-on packages for more multiplayer things and that. Yeah, I mean, honestly, check it out. It's good. I don't know what the pricing costs right now, but I think I bought the package in 2016, and I think it was about $100 on the asset store, or 80. It was around that.
But definitely worth it.
Definitely worth it. And because I had used his one before that, I already knew what it was like, and this was like getting it the bigger and better one. I was like, man, like this is perfect. Like, yeah, so I honestly recommend it.
I have tried some tutorials for platformers on Unity 3D, and going through the whole bunch and writing up the code yourself. I know it's good to do that, but it does take a lot of time, and time is not something you can buy.
That's right. And at the end of that, I'm not like a programmer either. Like I try and do a bit of coding, and I'm learning a bit of coding as I go, because I mean, you've got to edit the code as well. But yeah, it's honestly saved me a hell of a lot of time. It's really good.
So where did your inspiration come from for Beneath the Basement?
Definitely Limbo, I guess, if you look at it straight away. That's like all I hear on Twitter, right? It's just like, oh, this looks too much like Limbo, and I'm like, yeah, well, I love it. Like, but also, I mean, a lot of people probably haven't heard of it, is the game Feist as well. It's on Steam. It's another sort of silhouette sort of art style. It's got a bit of color in it though, that one, for the background and that, and I don't know, that silhouette art style, I just love it. It's amazing. It's really, really cool. So that's sort of like, I guess, like the background and all the layout and stuff, I've gone for that. And the character inspiration, he's like from like a Studio Ghibli film. I don't know if you've seen like Princess Mononoke back in the day. I think it was, I don't know when it was released, but it's a Miyazaki film. And in the film, there's these little creatures. They're called Kodama, like little Japanese forest spirits, and they're just like little weird white things with big heads and awkward eyes. And I don't know, they always stuck out to me, and I just was like, just their shape, I guess, and the way the character sort of looks on them, they're just really cool.
Really cute.
Yeah, that's it. So I was like, I like that sort of style as well, but also I'm a huge fan of Tim Burton's art and stuff.
Feels a little bit Nightmare Before Christmas type.
Oh yeah,
I get that vibe as well. You know, like from the little dude.
Yeah, that's cool. He's I don't know if you've because I've got a bunch of Tim Burton's like tragic toys for boys and girls, and they're all these little depressed figurines with like nails. It's really like dark, like, and they've got all backstories and stuff, and some of them are really depressing. It's wicked. I love it. Like, it's so dark, and I don't know, it's cool. So I've got them like sitting on a shelf like behind my computer and stuff, and so I guess they've been definitely inspired. Yeah, it's cool.
I kind of it's kind of interesting just seeing, you know, games with similar color themes or a similar kind of movesets getting referred always to the most popular and the most successful one. Like you said, Limbo, a lot of people think of that straight away, but you know, your game could be completely different in the sense of like movements and storyline as well. So whenever I hear copies, right, I don't mind trying out other ones that look similar. It's just, it's a different take on a similar kind of appearance, I guess, but could be completely different.
Everyone just jumps and goes, "Oh, it just looks just like Limbo." I mean, it doesn't bother me because it is like straight up. I reckon the game was amazing. The first time I saw that, I was blown away by how cool it looked. I was like, I love that black and white art style. It's just, it's incredible.
Yeah, it allows you to focus really on the I guess the sound effects and also the character movement and the environmental interactions really well.
Yeah, it just draws you in it.
So, just I suppose thinking from the business side of things of releasing, I see you've got a Twitter and a Facebook, and you seem relatively prevalent on the Twitter. Have you found that easy way to reach out to people?
Yeah, Twitter's been pretty good. I mean, to be honest, the only social media stuff I've been doing has been Twitter, and I've got a Facebook page for it and stuff, and I've just invited like heaps of people, and they've invited some other people and whatnot. But even I've just recently started Instagram for it as well, and just through like hashtags, like it's pretty cool. I get like a lot of likes from like random people on the Instagram pages, and then they start following the game as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, Twitter's definitely up there. It's just through the power of the hashtags as well. Other than the annoying like indie dev bots and the game dev bots, you know, they like some of them are, you know, that they just retweet crap, I guess. But then you do get an odd like and stuff from someone that's obviously found it through that. So it's also pretty cool, I guess, as well.
And I think you find like I've been trying to comment a lot more on people's posts rather than just liking them, actually leaving a comment, which I think engages people a little bit more. It's hard to do because, you know, you're not going to comment on every single thing that you see. But if you see some sort of cool animation or effect or something like that you've seen that someone's created, you know, try and put a little comment down there just to try and engage a little bit more.
Well, now you mention that, it actually makes like quite a bit of sense, because I think, again, going back to the Limbo thing, I had there's a guy over East, he's creating like another silhouette game, and me and him both talk on Twitter, and I put a picture up on Twitter, and he said, "Oh, this looks like Limbo," and then my mate over East, he sort of said, "Oh, hey," said something back to him, and then that's got like 20 odd likes or something, like, you know what I mean, and like heaps of retweets just from us having a conversation on that image, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I guess like the comments and that definitely make it go further.
Do you have you been to any of the sort of the Perth gaming groups or anything like that?
Nah, I haven't, I'm afraid. I think they're definitely a good idea though, because that's like going back to like, you know, like TAFE days, and I went to SAE as well. Going back to those days, like being surrounded, I guess, by those other people. You know what I mean? Like you're just gonna bounce ideas off each other as well to be good. Well, I guess sometimes like you sit here and I'm just in my, you know, computer room sort of by myself, like try to like it's hard sometimes, but yeah. No, I've never been to one of those though.
The Play Up Perth events are pretty fun. I've been to a few of those. Not being in Perth now, it's pretty hard. But I think the first Friday of every month, I think.
Yep. Are they holding that? Because I know they started holding it out of the Nostalgia box, aren't they?
Yeah. And then I think the last one I went to was the one from the Global Game Jam. So they had a whole bunch of things that people had released on the Global Game Jam, which was pretty cool to see as well.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I should have really got down there and put the game up at some stage, but I don't know. I guess I was pretty lazy.
But again, life, right? Like
it does get in the way.
Responsibilities and life and walking the dog.
Big time.
So out of your game, I guess all three of them, especially Beneath the Basement, have you overcome like some massive challenges just to get them out or get them completed? What was your biggest hurdle there, Mitch?
Yeah, look, definitely, I guess working on my own at times and being dedicated to the project, you know, like just actually going, right, I need to actually dedicate this, like say this day, and actually smash out this list that I've created myself of the problems and get stuff done. I guess that's been big. And yeah, I mean, I ran into like loads of different coding problems along the way, and then I might be stuck on like a problem for a week or so, but then I don't know, I guess it all just works out in the end, because I'd always just get help online. Like even the Unity forums online are great. Like the coding ones, like jump on there and be like, hey guys, I'm trying to do this. And someone would go, oh no, you got to do this and this. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then
that solves it. Yeah. Yeah, just getting that
Yeah.
input community base as well is just so good. I know when I was developing games, it was always like just go on Google and try to find the solution, and eventually I'll find it. But with Unity, I guess I'm taking it you've been using Unity for all three of your games, and it's something that
Yep.
you're sticking with. It's really good. The amount of people that use it and the community, so good.
Yeah.
One of the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
For software like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been really good, and that's why I think the forums are just great. Like, oh yeah, like I don't think I would have been able to finish like Cloudy Jump and Lightspeed without that community help on the Unity forums, basically. Because they're amazing.
In terms of, I suppose, talking about what you put in budget wise for creating this latest game, but in the basement, do you think you would have to have invested a bit of money into that, or I mean, because you've done it over 3 years?
I guess. Well, money wise, I guess I've got my Android developer license, which I think that lasts like life or whatever, and then your iOS license, which is like $150 for like just a year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is
Thanks, Apple.
honestly, it sucks, but it is what it is. But and then I guess and then buying like the Platformer Pro plugin as well. But I haven't really done like chucked money into it other than that really. And it's I guess like my time has been the biggest thing. Like I couldn't even put on paper like how much hours I've like put into it. You know, it's one of those. It's just hectic. So
yeah. I mean, I suppose the reason I asked that question, sorry if it sounded a bit rude, was just to kind of highlight that you don't need to spend a lot of money to make a game.
No way.
You need the dedication, basically.
100%. Yeah. Like really, if I just release it on Android, like I can't remember what I paid for the developer license a couple of years ago. I think it was like $30 or something like that.
I think it was, yeah, something minimal.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really, and you know, you could just drop $30 and you can just put it out on the Google Play Store and that's all you need to spend. And like you said, it just comes down to time. And there's like YouTube's great, like for video tutorials, you know, like, it's so good.
I think it's easy. Like I get caught up sometimes in it myself, just because that's, I suppose, how I think is thinking in like the monetary terms of, okay, it cost you this much to produce and this is how much you're going to get back from it. But at the end of the day, like, who cares how much money you've either spent or made from something? Because the whole point of this isn't to make money, right? If you're in the gaming industry to make money, there's plenty of easier and better ways to make money than to release a game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think like we recently interviewed Scott Ludlam, ex-Senator Scott Ludlam.
Oh, yep.
And like he really, when we were talking to him, he was really sort of speaking to me on an artwork sort of level. Like the way he was talking, it made me realize that sometimes it's easy for me personally to put too much monetary value on what something is worth, rather than, you know, just taking it for the art aspect of it, because it is an art medium, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and as well, it's like it's a hobby. Like people have hobbies and they pour money into like hobbies and stuff like that. And that's, at the end of the day, that's really what it is for me as well. Like I enjoy doing this in my spare time as a hobby, and I don't mind chucking my personal money into it. And if I'm not going to get, you know, back, like it's not, it doesn't bother me because I just enjoy doing it.
I think that's the thing that a lot of people don't get. It's like going out or, you know, testing out these rally cars or something like that. You pay them money because it's your hobby. You like driving around and stuff like that. You actually part with your money to do your hobby. So making stuff is just a bonus.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the main problem is though is that if you want government to invest in it or to give you know, resources and things like that, you have to have some sort of monetary outcome. And I think
they want to see that. Yeah,
it's easy for them to not look at gaming as an art medium or an entertainment source. You know, really, it's just as entertaining as, or more so, in my opinion, than watching TV. You know, I'd much rather sit down and play a game.
Yeah, I'm the same. I hardly watch TV. You know what I mean?
Everyone's always rages at me because I don't watch Game of Thrones.
Oh, hang on. There's always time.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
But yeah, no. It just sounds like you've had a lot of fun, a lot of frustration, but a lot of fun making this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's at the end of the day, like, there's nothing. I don't know. It's just so satisfying. You know what I mean? Like even when I've like had the test builds and stuff, like I'd give it to my brothers and stuff like that, and then go, oh, check out this, have a little play and watch them play, and it's so satisfying. Like I don't know what it is. It's hard to explain. It just feels good.
it's like seeing your creation just being appreciated. I think that's it. It just it's the hard work that you put into it, and the realization that the hard work was worth it. So it's kind of like justification for what you've done. Yeah, we've been like Len said, we have been stalking your Twitter, Mitch, and you have been talking a bit about VR stuff. So are you dabbling in that kind of space? Is that where your maybe next few ideas are going to go towards?
Yeah, you got it right there. So I definitely want to get into VR next. I think that's going to be fairly big, like in a couple of years. And I'm really I want to get back into doing 3D. I've not touched 3D in years, and I want to get back into that. So I want to start. I want to like at the end of the year, I want to upgrade my video card and look at possibly getting a headset next year sometime. And start getting into all that. It should be cool.
And I was staring longingly at the HTC Vive the other day when I went into Harvey Norman, just like looking at it.
It's so tempting.
Crying to myself softly.
You have actually been talking about that, Glenn, because you were working and you just told me that there were a few guys trying to spruik some VR software.
Yeah. So myself and Eric both work in the mining industry.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And this guy turned up to sell a product, and he set a VR headset up and basically walked us through his product in virtual reality, which was cool, really cool. And then afterwards, he showed me like a safety demonstration where in virtual reality you look at a bloke doing a task and you say, oh, okay, you're not wearing your harness, or you don't have hard hat on, or whatever it might be. In virtual reality, you sort of click and you're looking around, and it was actually really cool.
That's cool because it's like a real life thing, right? Like you're not just sitting there watching a tutorial on a thing, like you're interacting with that tutorial technically. That is really cool.
And to think that like it's something that it's so relatively mainstream now. Like if someone could just bring it to site and use it, and it's like, okay, it's one person, but another 5 years, probably everything's going to be done that way.
Yeah, that's right. It'd be easy to get more headsets and stuff because I guess they're quite pricey still. And
well, I was chatting to old mate as well, and I was saying, well, look, there's a heap of really good developers and programmers and 3D artists and stuff right here in Perth. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Where did you outsource your stuff from? And he said he didn't know because he was just sort of selling it, but it made me think, he was a Perth-based provider of products, and it's like, wow, we've got all these people who, okay, it's not making a game, right? But you can be working on your 3D modeling skills at the same time.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Getting a little bit of coin to help you pay to do either the game dev on the side or whatever.
Feed you.
That's right. Yeah, that's awesome, eh?
I know. Yeah, wow. I got super excited, and everyone at work was kind of looking at me weirdly.
I guess even from a high school, because I'm working in high school and that, and I'm like, man, I can't wait a couple of years or whatever. You might be able to have a couple of VR headsets set up that are actually really good, and you're doing school excursions with VR. So you're going, I don't know, somewhere else and around the world. You know what I mean? And touring around some place. I think you can do that anyway with certain Google Cardboard ones or whatever. But I guess when using a proper HTC or an Oculus or something would be wicked to do that.
It would be amazing. Especially for historical classes. You can tour your classes through it and stuff like that.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. You see what I mean? I reckon that would just be wicked doing that stuff.
I know Telstra at the moment are developing, or part of probably other people are as well, sort of headsets where you put a program in, it'll teach you how to change a tap washer or something. It'll use augmented reality as to go, okay, this is the piece you need, and it'll show you it, and you've got to take this tap off here, and it'll highlight it and stuff like that. So can you imagine learning how to, I don't know, anything, change a spark plug or
exactly, car work and stuff. It'd be so much easier.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I mean, it's a fair ways off, but it's still pretty exciting.
Definitely in the right field, Mitch. Definitely in the right field.
Yeah.
Leaning towards that. I think Glenn, you were pretty excited. You had a few ideas you were rattling off to me about VR and stuff as well when we were still together.
I'm full of ideas. I don't know if I can necessarily do any of it. Another personal question, Mitch. How old are you? Just out of interest.
Hang on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So the 77 in the Twitter tag, I think 88 was taken. So I'm born
Yeah.
88, so I'm 29. I'm not like, yeah.
I was like, damn, he looks good.
Yeah, that was the start of you.
I actually thought that, like, because I think I created the Twitter account like years and years ago, and I never used it. And then, yeah, and I thought later, 77. I guess people are going to question my age on that. That you guys did. So that's, it's so funny.
He looks real young. Like,
Yeah, he's 39,
I love
40.
his beauty regime.
So 88, that makes you a year younger than us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Already released 3 games.
What are we doing?
Have you hit 30 yet? What's that like?
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause that's how I feel, man. Like March next year, so it's not that far away.
Go through like a 30 life crisis, where
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what am I doing with my life?
That's it.
I want to be making games full time.
That was funny because before we called you, Glenn was like, I swear I was gonna win that $50 million. And he told me,
big one, yeah.
Yeah, I'd start up a game development company and get straight into it.
Lotto. That's why the Lotto
Yeah.
exists, I suppose, because people think they're going to win it.
That's right. Get that VR company started, don't I?
Oh yeah, it's a little subsidiary maybe, with 50 million.
I know my sister's doing a bit of stuff on the medical VR kind of stuff. She makes a whole bunch of 3D models, so it's just good hearing that VR in like the medical space. We were talking about this in the last chat. I think we were Michael. Yeah, it's just VR everywhere. I think that's what we're going to do, Glenn. After this podcast, we're just going to think of VR ideas.
And then just pay for someone else to make them.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible. It's a terrible idea.
We'll keep you on the shortlist, Mitch.
Sounds good, man. I haven't done 3D in ages, but I think I could create a cube and a sphere. Okay, so
What do you use for 3D modeling?
Maya, yeah.
Oh,
Because I learned that at SAE back in, what was it, 09 or 10, I think. It was back then anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been dabbling with a bit of Blender, but the thing that gets me is that the mouse buttons are like opposite.
Oh really? I've never personally used Blender.
Like to select things, it's right click.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
mate.
Yeah, that would be weird, wouldn't it? Yeah, yeah.
And you can't change it. Just can't change it.
What? There's not a.
Well, maybe there is, but I can't find it.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. I remember. Yeah, I mean, I've never used Blender at all. I remember when it first came out, and I was using Cinema 4D with my mate back in TAFE. Yeah, and Blender was out, and we were like, "What is this?" We just hated it. I don't know. I think it was pretty like rough back then as well. Like it was brand new, But it's come a long way, and for free software, yeah, it's amazing.
And like you were saying before, like I think I purchased a bunch of Udemy courses.
Yep.
They do them for like $9 or whatever when they're on special.
Yeah.
And working your way through those. So there's a lot of things out there and YouTube videos like we were talking about before.
Yeah, that's it. I guess the Blender community must be like pretty good as well, being it's like free software. So everyone's like, yeah, they must be pretty supportive.
I think like you were sort of saying, I think what you were saying before, it's kind of like a leapfrog software, I suppose. Like it's free software that you use to get your head around whether you want to buy a license for something else.
Yeah, yep.
Yo, Blender. I've been using that, man. It's actually pretty good. It's improved a lot, and I think the community is getting. It's like on par with Unity 3D in the sense that the community is there and they're all talking about how to fix stuff. So yeah, it's definitely come a long way. It's definitely come a long way, man.
All right, Mitch. Well, I suppose we've probably taken enough of your time this evening, but
Yeah, that's right.
thanks for coming on the show and talking to us and telling us about your game, Beneath the Basement, which is available on iOS and Android.
Yeah, as of tomorrow. Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. It's been good fun.
If to get in contact with anything, what's your Twitter handle?
Twitter's just my personal one is just Mitch or at Mitch Perry 77, and the Beneath the Basement one on Twitter is at BT Basement. And I think on Facebook, if you just type in Beneath the Basement, it'll just pop up.
Very nice. Thank you very much, Mitch. It's been a wonderful time talking to you, man.
Yeah, it's been good fun. Thanks, guys.
Big thanks once again to Mitch Perry for joining us on the show. His game's out on App Store and Google Play Store already, so check it out. Have a bit of fun with it. And this is Eric and Glenn signing off. Thanks for tuning in.